and welcome back to this week's movement lesson. We are looking at gestures and meteorology. How are those things related? Well, we're going to be looking at the Weatherman's performance and making some performances of our own. But first, let's warm up. If you are sitting in a chair, you will stand quietly behind your chair and push it in. If you're on the floor, you will just stand up in your space. So everyone, stand quietly where you are. Hello, class. You say, hello, Miss Kelsey. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Great warm-up. Let's keep it moving with some shape making. We, as always, will make a high, middle, and low shape. So let's go ahead and practice now our high shape, middle shape, and low shape. Stand tall. I'm going to snap 3 times to see your high, middle, and low shapes. Make your high shape. And now your middle shape. And then your low shape. Stand tall. Great job. We also practiced our transitions, or how we get from one shape to the next shape. And those options are your non-locomotor movements, like bending, growing, wiggling, melting, spinning, or jumping. All of those are non-locomotor movements we do between our shapes. So first you'll make a high shape, and then you'll choose a non-locomotor movement like spin to your middle shape. Then I'm going to jump to my low shape. Stand tall. I'm going to give you 1 minute to practice your high, middle, and low shape with a transition in between. 1 minute starts now. Now let's try shapes, but with locomotor transitions. That means we'll be making a high, middle, and low shape, but our transitions will be moving. Everyone, high shape. Now I'm going to slide that way, and then make a middle shape. Then I'm going to hop that way and make a low shape. Stand tall. Great. Let's try one more. First, make a middle shape. Then I'm going to run. High shape. Then I'm going to march to make a low shape. Great, stand tall. Now you have 1 minute to practice your high, middle, and low shapes, but with locomotor transitions. Make sure you're staying in your space and you're not smushed up against your friends like this. Looking at addition and subtraction, but also rhythmic patterns inspired by Katherine Dunham. So to review, we're going to move through some of those things. So follow me. I'm going to tap my shoulders 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have 2 shrugs. 1, 2. Can we try just that much? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Then I'm going to sway my head side to side 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to wiggle my shoulders and count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can we do that faster? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All together, it's like this. 4 shoulder taps. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 shrugs. 4 head sways. Wiggle for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can we try it with no sound? Great. And for our second combination, let's start with 6 claps. I'm going to clap 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Snap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 2 hops. 1 circle. I'm going to say the words again, a little slower. 6 claps. 3 snaps. 2 hops. 1 circle. We're going to try it with no words. Great job. So when we string together these types of movements or gestures, that's called a phrase. Everyone say phrase. And I'm talking about phrases of movements. It's kind of like a movement sentence. I like to dance. Movement sentence. We call this a phrase. So let's look at a couple more phrases, but with a little more movement, and of course, some counting. Now for our movement phrases, I'm going to start with 2 steps this way and 2 steps back, like this. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. Very good. Now I'm going to skip forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to slide back. That was 2 times. Let's take it back. 2 steps this way. And 2. Now this way. And 2. Now skip. Then slide. And then I'm going to punch my fist like this. That was 8. Great job! From the top with the words like this. 1 and 2. Now this way. And 2. Now skip. Then slide. Then party! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Did you get it? Great job. We're going to try it with no sounds. Here we go. So we've been talking about gestures, but I'd like to bring in something to make these gestures a little more interesting. So let's look at emotion. So first, emotion review. Let's talk about all these feelings. Show me your face when you're super excited. Or maybe like this. Or like this. What about when you're really sad? Or, classic. What about when you're really scared? Or if you're really mad. Great. What are some other emotions we could explore? Oh, tired, weary, shy. Great job. Now let's look at how we can put emotions into our movement. So when I'm putting emotions into gestures, that means I'm just giving a specific energy to the movement. Like, let's look at this arm. You try. It's just a quick gesture that I'm doing with not really any specific direction. I put my arm up, I put my arm down. But if I needed to do that gesture with an emotion, like excited, it might look like this. You try. It's very different than just putting my arm up and putting my arm down. I'm excited to put my arm up there. But if I pick a different emotion, like maybe sad, do you think my move would be quick? Probably not. It could be slower and less energy. You try. One more time. Can you think of another emotion for our arm movement? Scared? Maybe it's really fast. Something out there is going to bite you. That is an emotion to the gesture. I'm just making it a little more interesting. Let's check out another. What's another gesture we could do that we could add emotions? Maybe if I do a head circle, just make one head circle. And the other way. Let's make it interesting. What emotion should we add? If I'm mad, I would do it really slow like this. And the other way. Or if I'm really tired, my head circle would be like this. You try. Great. Now let's move on to weather, which is what we're talking about, specifically meteorology, or the study of weather and predicting it so people can maybe be clued into a big rainstorm. But they're not always right. Anyway, weather has different types of energy or different types of emotion, as I like to think of it. Sometimes the wind is a little sad and it blows like this. Kind of slow. It's very low energy wind. But sometimes the wind has a lot of energy behind it. Thinking dust storms or hurricanes, tornadoes, lots of wind energy, and it kind of looks like this. How's your wind going? Let's try it again. Lots of energy for that kind of wind. But there's also weather with different types of energy, like lightning. Lightning has a very sharp, quick energy. Those are lightning bolts. Let me see your lightning bolt shapes. Lots of quick, sharp energy for those lightning bolts. Are there any slow lightning bolts? No, it's just a very quick, high energy kind of weather. The next one we're looking at is rain. Now, rain has a range of energy. If it's just kind of misting, that's low energy, just a little bit of mist. It kind of just hangs in the sky. But if it's raining just a little bit, it's got this steady, slow energy. It's very consistent, but still pretty slow. And sometimes there's lots of rain, which to me energetically feels very heavy. I'm thinking of flooding or things just raining, and even the plants are like, too much rain. But it's just coming and coming. It's so heavy. And the last one is snow. Snow has a very light, fun energy because the individual snowflakes are so light, they kind of float on the way down. It's a very low energy type of weather. If I'm a snowflake, I'm just floating around until eventually I make it all the way to the ground. And even then, I may not hang out very long. I just melt away. That's what it looks like for weather that has different types of energy. What is the weather outside today, where you are? Maybe some sunshine, has very bright energy. What if it's a little cloudy and gray? You might move a little slower like the clouds, just hanging around. may change just a little bit, but they're still hiding the sun. Very low energy clouds until they turn into rain clouds, and they move quicker and they form quicker, and they're moving this way, they're moving that way until the rain comes. Weather. Whew. Lots of energy. So as we talked about, weather people have to make predictions based on the patterns they've looked at. So let's say if this hurricane normally does this, where it gets some clouds over here, and that means it's going to turn that way, that's a pattern. And weathermen or weatherwomen are using those patterns to make predictions about what they think will happen. And sometimes when they're against a green screen, they're like, look over here, there's rain, and then it's sun shining. It's kind of like a performance. So we're going to be using this and exaggerating just a little to make it more interesting as we perform as a weatherman. First up, we're tracking a very serious hurricane coming into the Gulf. Don't be concerned. There's some rain. It's very low energy right now, nothing to be concerned about. You can still go about your Saturday shopping and errands, but there is a little bit of rain. And this afternoon, the wind will start picking up, so make sure you have on your wind jacket as it really rolls in for the evening. And there's floods coming. The storm surge will be quite a lot. Let's take that back. What happened first? There was a little bit of rain. So the weatherman said, what will probably happen next? It's wind. First there was rain, and then maybe there's a little bit of wind, and before that hurricane picks up, that weatherman knows that those stronger winds are coming. And so then you hear things like storm surge, and they might send out an official warning to let you know that it's coming. An official weather warning is very serious. As the wind picks up, the hurricane is coming through. Sometimes it spins really slowly, and the rain is still happening. Maybe it's a lot of rain. And the weatherman says, stay inside. There's a hurricane near. But everything will be fine. I'm going to give you 1 minute to create your very own weather prediction for a hurricane coming in quick. Think about how the storm would progress. What do you think would happen? What do you predict? You have 1 minute to move through it right now. Sometimes the weatherman doesn't get it right. He might predict something to happen, and then you're staying inside waiting for it to rain, but the sun's out. These are really just guesses. Educated, but still guesses. So let's look at it this way. Maybe the weatherman is calling for rain. There's rain on the forecast. You must stay in. So this is you with your low energy. The clouds are kind of creeping around. But there's no rain. Clouds are just kind of moving slowly and changing. And eventually they open up. And now it's a sunny day. Right? So the weatherman, maybe not always right. I want you to take 1 minute to create your very own rainy day to sunny day phrase. Remember, that's a movement sentence explaining what's happening. Maybe you have a rainbow. Maybe there's just a little bit of rain before the sun comes out. You have 1 minute to create now. So today we talked about weather and its different energies, meteorology, and how really everyone's just guessing. But they're trying their hardest. So next time you see a weather person on the TV, I want you to notice the energy of their performance. There's lots of gestures, lots of energy of them explaining what's going to happen. Maybe you could try what they're doing. Now for our cool down, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. 2 more times. 1 more time. Cross your arms. Show your teacher you are ready to listen.